Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Achua. So I've been scrolling through the streets of TikTok and it's been reported that a fragrance from a Middle Eastern house is inspired by the Wedding Silk Santal. And the Wedding Silk Santal is a fragrance I'm actually looking forward to, an inspired by version from a Middle Eastern house. I think I even mentioned it in one of my previous videos that it's one of the fragrances that I sort of, think we are going to get an inspired by version before the close of year 2024 from one of the La Tafes or Paris Corners, or Alhambras, the very popular Middle Eastern houses that we're familiar with. However, according to the streets of TikTok, there's already an existing the Wedding Silk Santal inspired by from a Middle Eastern house, from a house I'm not super familiar with. This house is known as Mamlakat Abyed, and this is going to be my first brush with the house, So I picked this up, cotton Abyed. It has a cotton placed at the front of it, but I've lost mine. So I'll insert a picture for you to know how it actually looks like, with the cotton. This is how the fragrance is. Cotton Abyed, Mamlakat Abyed. That is my first brush with the line, the house itself. And this particular fragrance, Cotton Abyed, is supposedly inspired by the Wedding Silk Santal that I just picked a 10 ml to be able to give you a thorough comparison. So let me just give you my opinion about the Wedding Silk Santal. I know it is like very hyped. Some call it overhyped. I would like to give you my personal take on the Silk Santal, which includes the following notes: champagne, freesia, blackcurrant, nectarine, praline, jasmine, orange blossom, vanilla, sugar, sandalwood, musk, amberwood, and then oak moss. And for me, what I basically get from the Wedding Silk Santal are going to be the middle notes, the middle notes, which are the nectarine, praline, jasmine, orange blossom, That is what I get for the most part. I do get the vanilla, but, it's not as heavy as I get from a heavy, straight up vanilla fragrance. I do get that sparklingness of the champagne, but it's not as effervescent and sparkly as the sparkling lychee, for example, but you still get it faintly. It is a very beautiful nectarine scent. I get predominantly a very sweet, jammy nectarine and a heavy presence of a very light, like a heavy presence of a beautiful orange blossom. When it comes to orange blossom, I get both the orange nuance as well as the floral nuance of the orange blossom, if it makes any sense. When it comes to orange blossom, sometimes it can be straight up orange. Sometimes you get a floral orangey nuance, but in the Wedding Silk Santal, I get both. The jasmine, not so heavy. It is basically a fruity scent with slightly woody base, and that nectarine sort of, overshines every other note. The blackcurrant is like slightly there, but not really. It is a very beautiful, pretty scent. And as soon as I sprayed this, it immediately reminded me of a saying that opinionated scent has always been saying: it is pretty for the sake of being pretty. That is how I can simply describe Silk Santal. To me, it is a very beautiful scent. It's like a signature worthy scent to me. I get a whole idea of a wedding vibe, and yes, I agree. It gives me a very innocent, airy, pretty for the sake of being pretty girl sort of vibes. It puts me in a very similar mind frame of other fragrances that I will share. But in this, let me just do the comparison between the Silk Santal and then Cotton Abyed. So Cotton Abyed has a completely different structure, including musk and plum at the top. It has praline and then orris in the middle, and then vanilla and coconut at the base. First of all, the note structure very different, like a sharp contrast to the Silk Santal. They have only, I think, musk praline and vanilla, in common. And Silk Santal has like a plethora of other notes, a heavy presence of other fruits, the nectarine, the blackcurrant, the orange blossom. That is what you're going to get from the Silk Santal. Cotton Abyed, to me, is a heavy coconut scent. It gives me a very polished, non-santan lotion vibe that I love. You know, I really don't like a lot of santan lotion vibes when it comes to coconut, you know. So, sorry, this is done in a way that I love when it comes to coconut scent. It is a very dense but fluffy, you know, dense as in a creamy sort of, you know, feel. It's not a light effervescent one. First of all, it is not light and effervescent. It is rather a fluffy sort of creamy dense coconut scent. It gives you like a meaty sort of coconut, not the santan lotion or coconut water. That is what this one is going to give you. With, I think people have also compared this one to Ariana Grande's Cloud. You know, I don't really get that cloud, you know, effect. Probably because there's something here that sort of gives me a bit of a saffron, you know, that sort of, you know, saffron vibes of Baccarat Rouge and Ariana Grande Cloud vibe. This is not going to give you a heavy presence of a fruity fragrance, although it has the note of plum, but the plum do not really shine as much as you get the nectarine and the orange blossom and a bit of the blackcurrant shining in the Wedding Silk Santal. To my nose, this and Wedding Silk Santal are completely different scents. Why do TikTokers keep doing this? You know, yes, they are not the same. They don't give me the exact same feel, or I don't consider them the same exact family. To me, I have other things that I think if you already have, it will sort of remind you of the Silk Santal. But this doesn't necessarily immediately remind me of the Silk Santal. However, this is a very beautiful, warm, cozy, Kashmiran feel sort of, you know, fragrance. It's a heavy coconut and vanilla scent, but the vanilla here doesn't come across as your straight up, you know, gourmand vanilla scent. Even in the Silk Santal, people say they get like a heavy sort of gourmand feel. I would not consider this one a gourmand scent necessarily. It doesn't give me a straight up vanilla delicious ice cream vibes or heavy gourmand. It doesn't give me that. I get the nectarine. The nectarine is like the main character plus the orange blossom. The vanilla sort of plays like a role, but not like the most dominant one. And it is also not like those baking straight up vanilla scent, you know, that heavy realistic one. I also don't get the heavy similarity between this one and the OG vanilla 28, you know, which people have compared to. I don't really get like the connection, you know, although I don't know, it doesn't put me in the same mind frame as Kayali 28, vanilla 28, you know. But when it comes to cotton Abyed, it's going to give you a very beautiful, heavy but fluffy coconut scent with the vanilla that is not like a realistic foodie vanilla. It is not that, you know, it doesn't come across as sweet. Silk Santal comes across as more sweet because of that nectarine, orange blossom, you know, vanilla. But this one is not as sweet. There is less sweetness in this as compared to the Silk Santal. So we've made a base that they don't smell alike. To my nose, to my personal nose, to me, the most I can give when it comes to being similar to the Silk Santal, it's about 50%, you know, or even 40%. The dry down doesn't, the beginning, the dry down, the mid, everything about it doesn't give me Silk Santal necessarily. It gives me a very beautiful, on its own, a very beautiful, fluffy coconut scent, but not your typical santan lotion, you know, summer vibe. It doesn't give me that. It gives me all year round, you know. You can even wear it during the fall, winter season. It is not heavy in the sweetness. It is not heavy in the plum. You know, the plum does not shine as much as the nectarine and blackcurrant and orange blossom shines in the Silk Santal. It is beautiful. It is very feminine. It gives me like an ultra feminine vibe, just like Kayali Wedding Silk Santal, you know, but they don't really have a lot in common. Not the scent profile, not the, you know, I don't think they belong to the same family. This is a beautiful coconut scent with the vanilla base and a slight hint of that plum, you know, and basically that is what you are getting from it. But it is a very beautiful one that I would highly recommend that you check it out. You know, it's one of those fragrances you will enjoy if you enjoy like the vanillas and the coconut, you know, although you're not getting like a heavy realistic presence of vanilla, it still gives me a very girly sort of vanilla, but not as heavy realistic as other, you know, vanilla scents I have come across. It will not remind, it doesn't really, maybe it will put me in the mind frame of other fragrances, but not necessarily reminding me of anything in particular. I don't think this one reminds me of anything that I personally have. It doesn't give me that, you know, cloud vibes. It doesn't give me that at all. People have also compared this one to Ariana Grande's Vanilla Mod, you know, that one. I'm not too familiar with that, so I cannot really speak to that. However, it doesn't give me like a very generic one that a lot of people know about. What I can say is, if you are familiar with a fragrance like the Kingdom Woman by Lattafa, it is not the same as Silk Santal. It is not the same as Cotton Abyed, but it puts me in the mind frame of the Wedding Silk Santal. This is juicy pear and some vanilla and other, you know, beautiful light florals, just like the Wedding Silk Santal. It is absolutely not going to give you Wedding Silk Santal, but it sort of gives me similar or the same family, more than Cotton Abyed gives me, you know, similar family vibes. This one does not give me similar family vibes, but the Kingdom Hair, for example, gives me similar family vibes, you know, to the Wedding Silk Santal. It gives me that innocence. It gives me that, you know, pretty for the sake of being pretty vibes, just like the Wedding Silk Santal. Even this one, Cotton Abyed, gives me like that pretty for the sake of being pretty, but not as much. This could be for the girl who is not into ultra pretty feminine fragrances, but it's not also going to give you a heavy masculine one. It is not masculine at all. But when it comes to the Kingdom Hair by Lattafa, it puts me in that mind frame, mind space of the Wedding Silk Santal. They give me this almost an identical experience, ultra feminine, some, you know, sense of innocence, you know, that sort of, you know, bit of a bridal feel. I think I spoke about the wedding, the Kingdom Hair at some point, and I said it's a good sense for church, because it gives you that sort of, you know, innocence and, you know, calm and, you know, serenity in the presence, you know, or at a church, you know, environment. That is what this one gives me, and it puts me in a very similar mind space. So in a nutshell, I would say Cotton Abyed is a very beautiful scent, a very beautiful feminine coconut vanilla scent. It is not musky, you know, it's not a heavy musky scent at all. It is a very beautiful coconut, you know, vanilla scent with like a background of that, you know, saffron, candy vibe of Ariana Grande's Cloud or Baccarat Rouge, but it will not like put you in the mind space of Baccarat Rouge as soon as you spray this, no, or even Cloud, no, it's not going to give you that. But I get where people are coming from with the comparison, because of that, you know, background of that sweet sort of, you know, cotton candy, saffron sort of, you know, feel that this one has. But it is completely different, and on its own, it's a very beautiful release from the house Mamlakat Oud, you know. And yeah, I think that is going to be it, you know. That is simply going to be it for my comparison between this and the Wedding Silk Santal. They are not the same. They don't smell the same to me. At most 40 to 50% identical, and even the Kingdom Hair feels like much closer, although not necessarily the same. It gives me like a very similar vibe as the Wedding Silk Santal. So if you're looking for a similar experience, you know, for a fraction of the price, as we always say, you can consider the Kingdom Hair, but it's not going to give you Kayali Silk Santal, the wedding series. It's not, you know. And that is going to be it for today. And I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye-bye.